Hi everyone, my name is Sah. I am one of the sponsored Geisha Wigs model. This is a video about me answering a few questions. I am 27 and I run a small brand company called Sah Reinka. The name comes from reincarnation. It is to do with making new things out of old things or undesirable things. I've got a slogan called Salvaged Love. Ooh. I've been with Geisha Wigs for almost a year. I couldn't be happier. I was more than thrilled that Geisha Wigs even asked me to be one of their sponsored models. My modeling name is Sah Reinka. You can find me on Facebook as well as the Reinka page. I generally do, usually through the Facebook page at the moment because I'm in a little bit of difficult situation. But everyone encounters difficult situations like this, so I'm sure we'll get over it. And what about the fun things? I have a few questions from Geisha Wigs family and Geisha Wigs girls. First question is from Eleanor. What is your must-have wig? As far as the natural one goes, I am in love with this brown new crimped one. It is the shorter version of blindness, as so far as I remember. It is not as crimped and curly as some of the other ones I have seen that we have in this brown colour. It is a lot wavier, which just kind of makes it look a bit more natural in my opinion. It's been sprayed, so it takes a little bit of shine away as well. Otherwise, my everyday wig is either Peacock Princess or Violet Ice, which is the white and purple one. It's white with like lilac stripes on them. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is so soft. But it's because it's a synthetic fibre. On an incredibly dry day it does frizz a little bit, but all wigs do. It just all depends on how good you take care of them as well. I hope that has answered your question, Eleanor. I don't really know what a favourite wig is because they're all my favourites. You can't make me choose. You can't do that. And second question is from Anna. Tell us about your old band and your experience and whether you would be in a band again. To all the questions, yes, I have been in a band. I've sang in at least 10 bands in the past. It sounds cool, I know, but it isn't when you just do the toilet circus. But along the way I have met some really, really amazing people. When the situation here dies down again, I am really willing to start singing again and do performances if I can. At the end of the day, you make the music for yourself, not for other people. With all the bands I have been, I've always written the lyrics and I have always written all the vocal melodies that I sang. And I really miss it. I really miss singing on stage. I miss traveling with the band, having a laugh with the guys, and you know, all the fun parts of it. Of course, it takes an incredible amount of dedication and hard work to be recognized and be anywhere. It's not one of those luck things. You need to have the skill backing up as well as your personality being good in the industry as well. But yes, I would definitely love to get back in those things. From Kelsey Carnage. And she has asked, how long have I been doing art and what's my inspiration? Well, a lot of my inspiration comes from nature and what's inside of us. So say cell structure, malignant form transformations, osmosis, and the process of it just looks incredible. If you haven't found it, or if you find it interesting, you should look these things up. And a lot of the ideas come from one another, so I could be finding an idea from one thing, it could lead into something completely different eventually. It all depends on your trains of thought. Because of that, the inspiration carries on changing almost constantly, so I don't have to restrict myself into just particularly liking one thing. And as for the length of the time, I've been doing it as long as I can remember. And the next question is from Amber Brady. I hope I'm pronouncing these things right. She has asked, do you watch My Little Pony, and if so, what is your favourite? Well, I am afraid that I am not. And let me repeat, I am not My Little Pony's fan. And I am very sorry for girls who are head over the heels with My Little Pony, and I understand it's a big thing. I just think ponies, rainbows, all that is kind of overdone and it's a little bit boring. I'm really sorry. And she has also asked several other questions, but because there's a short amount of time, I'm just gonna pick one more. How do you wear your everyday makeup? Well, every day I don't wear makeup. That's the initial answer for it. I actually don't wear any makeup, everyday thing. When I do go out, sometimes I put on quite a lot, like as you can see right now that I've done for outfit of the day. But generally, I've got SPF 50 sun lotion, and that's all I have on my face usually. For simple makeups, I just draw a really simple eyebrows and do cat eye flick. You can see it a little bit here. Skin just needs to breathe every now and then sometimes, and the working environment I am in is usually quite dusty because of the fabrics dust and from the machines and things like that. It's not even a good idea to keep the makeup on because it will just damage your skin because of the dust and because of the dirt. Jen Snow has asked me what made me choose to live in the UK and how do you do your eyebrows different colours. You can do it. I generally use a bit of primer and mix the choice of colour with it and use that to stroke when I draw my eyebrows on. And when I do a different colour, it's basically blending in between the colours, and that's all the difference it makes. Otherwise, I've just got my normal brown eyebrows on. I've done a little bit of colour changes with the turquoise here. It's Sugar Piss Darling. It is absolutely amazing. Definitely worth the money. And why UK? Well, as I've said earlier, I've lived in UK for the longest time. I've lived in the UK for 14 years now. And it wasn't really a choice of things. It's just one of those things that life throws at you. Do you want it or not? And it's a question of whether you caught it or not. When I was asked where, like, do you want to live in the UK or Korea, it was just the two choices, and it's a bit difficult to say, but I had a bit of a tough childhood. I was beaten and bullied for a really, really long time. So at that point was when the beating was coming to a peak, and I didn't really want to stay there for obvious reasons. Plus my parents are having a really difficult time with the financial situations and the emotional problems and all of those piled together. And my brother was already in the UK studying, so my parents thought, well, why not? So when I had the chance, I grabbed it and leapt. Quite literally. 6,000 miles of leaping is a long leap. So, hope that has answered your questions. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you do have any more questions, feel free to ask me. Bye for now.